Okay, so you're thinking about, diving into this whole dApp thing,
Yeah.
and that's super exciting. But finding the right Web3.js developer,
Right.
it can feel like you're trying to find like a needle in a haystack of code.
Yeah.
This mini deep dive is going to give you the knowledge
Mm.
to hire a Web3.js developer confidently.
Yeah.
So to do that, we are going to use some great insights from the experts over at theperfectdeveloper.com.
Awesome.
They created this fantastic playbook on this topic.
A playbook.
We are going to pull out some of the key highlights from that playbook for you today.
All right.
Yeah?
What are we going to cover?
We are going to cover must-ask questions. We're going to cover typical salaries.
Okay.
We're going to cover critical skills to look
Yes.
for.
To look for.
By the end, you're going to be well-equipped to navigate the hiring process
I love it.
and to build your dreamed app team.
It's like having a cheat sheet
Uh-huh.
for the Web3.js developer hiring game.
I love it.
Now, before we get into it, if you are looking for a super fast way,
To get personalized guidance, I highly recommend checking out theperfectdeveloper.com
great.
and trying their 5 questions.
Nice.
It's like a developer matchmaking quiz.
Awesome. But first, let's talk about what makes Web3.js developers different
Okay.
from your everyday programmer.
I'm all ears.
Oh,
I get that they work with blockchain,
right.
but what does that actually mean in terms of like skills?
So Web3.js developers are like the architects
Oh,
of the decentralized web.
okay.
They need to have a deep understanding of blockchain fundamentals, how smart contracts work,
Yeah.
and how to interact with the Ethereum network using Web3.js.
Okay.
It's a specialized skill set.
So they're not just writing code.
Right.
They're building the infrastructure
Yes.
for like a whole new type of internet.
It's a whole new world.
That's pretty impressive.
It is.
And you mentioned smart contracts.
Yeah.
For those of us who aren't quite familiar,
Sure.
could you explain what those are and why they matter?
Yeah. Smart contracts are like self-executing agreements,
Yep.
written in code and stored on a blockchain.
Yep.
They're the backbone of many dApps,
Uh-huh.
automating processes, ensuring transparency and security.
That's it.
Think of them as the rules of engagement for your dApp,
Okay.
automatically enforced by the blockchain.
So they're like
Yeah.
digital contracts that
Yeah.
enforce themselves.
That's right.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But with all this talk of digital contracts and blockchain,
Right.
I have to ask, security must be
Oh, yeah.
a major concern, right?
Absolutely. Web3.js development comes with unique security considerations.
Yeah.
Because blockchain transactions are irreversible.
Oh, okay.
Any vulnerability in your dApp can have significant consequences.
Wow.
This is where it gets really important to hire someone who understands security best practices.
That makes total sense.
Yeah,
What are some common security pitfalls
right.
that Web3.js developers need to be aware of?
Okay.
I'm imagining like hackers draining funds from smart contracts.
Uh-huh.
Is that like a real thing?
It unfortunately is.
Okay.
One common vulnerability is something called a re-entrancy attack, where malicious code can repeatedly exploit a smart contract function
Okay.
before it has a chance to update its state.
So it's like a
Yeah.
digital pickpocket
Yeah.
who keeps dipping into the same pocket
Uh-huh.
before anyone notices.
Yeah, good analogy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and that's why the perfectdeveloper.com vets developers for their knowledge of security best practices,
Okay.
including how to prevent such attacks.
Okay.
When you are hiring, you should ask potential candidates about their experience with these kinds of vulnerabilities.
So it's not enough to just find someone who can code.
Yeah.
You need someone who's like a security expert.
Absolutely.
I'm starting to understand why finding the right Web3.js developer can feel like a challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you're convinced
Right.
you need a Web3.js developer.
Anyone.
What are your options? Full-time, part-time, in-house, outsourcing?
Yeah.
It feels like there's so many different ways.
There are a few paths you can take.
Yeah.
And each has its pros and cons.
Okay.
ThePerfectDeveloper.com offers a great guide
Okay.
that breaks down different models.
I'm ready to explore those paths.
Okay.
But before we do, let's take a quick break.
That's it.
We'll be right back with more insights
All right.
on finding your perfect Web3.js developer match.
Great. So before the break, we were talking about the different models
Yes.
for hiring a Web3.js developer.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I'm sure our listener is eager to know
Okay.
what their options are and what might be the best fit for their project.
Right.
So full-time versus part-time.
Okay.
What are the key considerations there?
Full-time in-house
Yeah.
gives you the most control and integration,
Okay.
but it comes with higher cost
Sure.
and commitment.
Right.
You're essentially bringing on a new member of
Yeah.
your core team.
So it sounds like full-time. Is ideal if you have like a long-term vision for your dApp and need
Yes,
someone fully dedicated to
absolutely.
the project. What about part-time?
Part-time can be more flexible
Okay.
and budget-friendly.
Yeah.
If you don't need a developer's full attention right away,
Right.
it's a great option for specific tasks.
Okay.
Or if you're still in the early stages of development
Right.
and need to be mindful of your budget.
So it's like having a Web3.js developer on call when you need them.
Yeah,
That could be a great way to get started
exactly.
without breaking the bank.
Yeah.
Now, you also mentioned in-house versus outsourcing.
Yes.
What are the trade-offs there?
Hiring in-house allows you to build a strong team culture
Okay.
and have more direct communication. However, it might take longer to find the right candidate,
Okay.
especially if you are in a location where Web3.js talent is scarce.
Right.
Outsourcing, on the other hand,
Yeah.
can give you access to a wider pool of talent,
Okay.
potentially allowing you to find a specialist
Oh.
with very specific expertise.
Okay.
ThePerfectDeveloper.com actually specializes in connecting businesses with top-tier developers,
Okay.
both locally and internationally.
So with outsourcing, you could potentially tap into a global network
Yeah,
of Web3.js talent.
that's right.
But I imagine there are some challenges as well.
Of course, time zones, language barriers,
Yeah.
and cultural differences can sometimes complicate communication and project management.
Right. It's like anything else.
Huh?
There are always trade-offs to consider.
Yep.
But it's great to know that there are platforms like theperfectdeveloper.com that can help navigate those challenges.
Absolutely. They vet developers thoroughly
Yep.
and can match you with someone who aligns with your project needs
Nice.
and your team culture,
Awesome.
even if they are based in a different part of the world.
Now, let's be honest.
Okay.
A big question on everyone's mind is cost.
Yeah.
How much can you expect to pay for a Web3.js developer?
Even entry-level Web3.js developers can command impressive salaries, often starting between $60,000 and $90,000 per year.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
a pretty attractive starting salary.
It is.
And I imagine it goes up from there.
Absolutely.
What about more experienced developers?
Mid-level developers with few years of experience
Okay.
can earn between $90,000 and $130,000.
Okay.
For senior developers, those with 5+ years of experience,
Yeah.
salaries can reach upwards of $130,000 and some even hit $200,000 or more.
Those are some serious numbers.
Yeah,
I'm guessing location plays a role in salary as well?
absolutely. Tech hubs like San Francisco,
Okay.
New York, London, and Berlin
Yeah.
tend to have higher salaries
Right.
because of the concentration of tech companies
Yeah.
and the overall cost of living.
So if you're looking to hire a Web3.js developer in Silicon Valley,
Right.
be prepared to pay a premium.
Yeah.
But regardless of location,
Mm-hmm.
it's clear that these specialized skills are in high demand.
Very much so.
Okay, so we've covered the different hiring models
Right.
and salary expectations.
Yes.
Now let's get into the nitty-gritty
All right.
of finding the right candidate.
Okay.
What are the key skills you absolutely need to look for
Okay.
when screening resumes and interviewing potential Web3.js developers?
First and foremost, they need to be proficient in JavaScript,
Okay.
as that's the foundation of Web3.js.
Right.
But beyond that,
Yeah.
they need a deep understanding of blockchain technology.
Okay.
That includes understanding concepts like decentralized networks,
Uh-huh.
consensus mechanisms like proof of work and proof of stake,
Okay.
and how the Ethereum network functions.
Okay, so they need to be more than just coders.
Right.
They need to understand the underlying principles
Yes.
of blockchain.
Yeah.
And you mentioned proof of work and proof of stake.
Right.
Could you explain those a bit further?
Yeah.
I'm sure many of our listeners have heard those terms,
Yeah.
but may not fully grasp what they mean.
Proof of work and proof of stake are the two main consensus mechanisms
Okay.
used by blockchains to validate transactions
Okay.
and add new blocks to the chain.
Okay.
Proof of work, used by Bitcoin,
Yeah.
requires miners to solve complex mathematical problems
Right.
to add new blocks,
Okay.
which is very energy intensive.
Right.
Proof of stake,
Yeah.
used by Ethereum,
Uh-huh.
relies on validators who stake a certain amount of cryptocurrency
Okay.
to participate in the block validation process,
Okay.
making it more energy efficient.
So these consensus mechanisms were essentially
Yeah.
the heartbeat of a blockchain.
Yeah.
Ensuring that transactions are secure.
Right.
and the network operates smoothly.
Exactly.
Okay.
And understanding these concepts
Yeah.
is crucial for any Web3.js developer.
Okay.
They also need to be fluent in Solidity,
Okay.
which is the programming language used to write smart contracts.
So it's like being a multilingual programmer
Right.
for the blockchain world.
That's a great way to put it.
And of course, a strong grasp of security best practices is non-negotiable. They need to understand how to prevent common vulnerabilities.
Yes.
Like the reentrancy attacks we discussed earlier.
That's right.
Right. Because security is paramount
It is.
in the world of blockchain and dApps.
Absolutely.
Any mistake can have major consequences.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we're looking for a developer who's a JavaScript expert, understands blockchain inside and out,
Yes.
can write smart contracts,
Yeah.
and is a security guru.
That's right.
That's a pretty impressive skill set.
It is, but it's what's required to
Okay.
build robust and secure dApps.
Yeah.
And the perfectdeveloper.com really emphasizes these skills
Dogs.
in their vetting process.
Yeah.
Which is why they are such a valuable resource
Okay.
for businesses looking to hire Web3.js developers.
That's reassuring to know.
Yeah.
But it's not all about technical skills.
No,
Right?
you're absolutely right.
What about the softer side of things?
Especially in the fast-paced and ever-evolving world of blockchain.
Yeah.
Communication, adaptability, and a willingness to constantly learn are essential.
Right.
You need someone who can work effectively as part of a team,
Yeah.
communicate clearly,
Yeah.
and stay ahead of the curve as new technologies emerge.
So it's finding that balance
Yeah,
between technical brilliance
right.
and being a good team player.
Exactly. And theperfectdeveloper.com takes these factors into account
Okay.
in their matching process,
Yeah.
connecting businesses with developers who are not only technically skilled,
Mm-hmm.
but also the right fit
Right.
for their team culture.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're taking like a
Yeah.
holistic approach
Yeah.
to matching developers with businesses.
They are, and that's one of the things that sets them apart. They are not just a job board.
Yeah.
They're really trying to create a connection between talented developers
Uh-huh.
and the companies that need them.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like a matchmaking service
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
for the Web3 world. We were talking about, building and retaining this like dream team of
Yeah.
Web3.js developers.
Yeah.
And, theperfectdeveloper.com shared some great insights on that.
Yeah.
As we're wrapping up this mini deep dive,
Yeah.
I realize
Mm.
there's one question we haven't explicitly addressed.
Okay.
It might seem basic,
All right.
but I think it's important to clarify.
Yeah.
What is Web3.js exactly?
Okay.
And why is it so essential
Yeah.
for dApp development?
That's a great question to bring up.
Yeah.
You're right. It is fundamental.
Yeah.
Web3.js is a JavaScript library
Okay.
that acts as a bridge between your dApp's front-end code, the
Nice.
code users interact with,
Right.
and the Ethereum blockchain.
Okay.
It allows developers to interact with smart contracts,
Yeah.
send transactions,
Huh?
and read data from the blockchain.
So if I'm understanding correctly,
Sure.
it's like the translator
Yes,
that allows the dApp to speak the language of the blockchain.
that's a fantastic analogy.
Okay.
Yeah, without Web3.js,
Yeah.
developers would have to write complex, low-level code
Right.
to interact with the blockchain,
Yeah.
which would be incredibly time-consuming
Yeah.
and prone to errors.
Right.
Web3.js simplifies that interaction,
That's
making dApp development much more efficient
Uh-huh.
and accessible.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So when we talk about hiring a Web3.js developer,
Right.
we're essentially looking for someone who is fluent
Yes,
in this language that allows them to like build and interact with
exactly.
this whole like decentralized world
Is-
of blockchain.
Yeah.
This has been an incredible whirlwind tour
It has.
of the world of Web3.js developers.
Yeah.
We've learned so much about their unique skills,
Yeah.
the different ways to find them,
Mhm.
the importance of security,
Yes.
and how to build a thriving team.
Absolutely.
I am so glad you joined me today
It's been a pleasure.
to break this all down. And, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed by all this
Yeah.
or just want a little extra guidance,
Sure.
head over to theperfectdeveloper.com
Okay.
and try the 5 questions.
Sounds good.
It's quick and easy.
Yeah, and it can give you like personalized recommendations to find the perfect Web3.js developer for your project.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And until next time, happy coding.
Happy coding.